Hey guys, I am on the floor in my daughter's room. Long story. All right, so I wanted to bring you this download that I received from Spirit because it's the 888 portal and that's a big deal. And this was pretty powerful because when these things come to me, they don't make any sense to me. So I often have to look up the meaning. But the initial download was the symbol for potassium. And then the other thing I heard was poison the well. So those are the only things I had to go with. But, what else was there? I think that was it, yeah. So this is the symbol for potassium. And this is the symbol in different directions. And then I got this image so this is about negativity. I don't know if you guys can see that. Those are the things I got. And then I looked into the meaning more. So from well, I got water. From water, I got H2O. And then I looked up the meaning of potassium. It impacts water. And the water in the tarot represents emotions. So, oh no, I'm sorry. I did forget one download. I heard red flag. This is what I saw, was this integer line and then the red flag and the negative. So the negative stuff is what we're moving away from, but that's what's contaminating the well. All right, so I looked up more about this. So pure potassium metal reacts violently and explosively with water, but it also regulates fluid balance inside your body and your cells. So it's important to not right now, to regulate your emotions in general. I mean, I don't have to argue that. You guys know that. But interestingly, the chemical reaction. So when elemental potassium metal touches water, it generates hydrogen gas that rapidly ignites with a lilac-colored flame. And I'm always talking about purple. So I did look up the meaning of purple flame, and symbolically it represents transformation and a clearing of negative energy. So it all makes sense. Bless you, Cece. So, I mean, you guys, I don't want to read too much into this because maybe it means something to you and I don't want to color it with anything, but it's clear to me that there is a lot of negativity. And it's poisoning the well, and that it's important to try to generate as much positive energy as you can to counteract that. And I'll put a picture of this in the corner so that you guys can see it. So this will be followed by the reading that I did, which ties into this. And yeah, that's it. Hope that you guys have a great 888 portal. Sending you my love. Bye. Hello, you found me, and welcome to the Lionsgate portal. I'm just cleansing the energy for you and for me. I'll be right back. I just want to close the door right after we let all this lower vibrational energy out of the space. Be right back. Okay, you could take a deep breath in and out, and I'm sending you Reiki love and healing. And we're going to see what's in the energy for you and for all of us. It's a collective during this super powerful 888 portal. I have a little bit of a different setup, so let's just see how this works out. I've already shuffled these cards. I got 2 downloads as I was preparing for this reading. One of them was Dharma Project, and I had to rack my brain a little bit, but it's from the show Lost, if you've ever seen that show. Something about the Dharma Project, and I don't want to analyze it and put my own spin on it, but it might mean something to you. Or maybe just the feeling of being lost. I also heard this ain't your grandma's apple pie. So that can also mean something to you. All right, let's see. I'm very happy that you're sharing this time with me on this really special day. I also have a more complicated download that I'm trying to figure out how to present. And it'll either be before this or after this. Ooh. You're making changes in your life and you're leaning into your flaws. You are, wow, that makes so much sense. You're leaning into your imperfections. You're forgiving yourself for things that you didn't know. And that's doing so much for you because it's allowing you to be able to grow in your relationships, because when you can look at yourself, and even with all the mistakes you've made or all the times you didn't know the answer, or you misjudged something, or you did something out of protection for you or your family or someone else, and then it turned out that you maybe miscalculated or went too far in one direction, you are embracing that and understanding that it doesn't define you as a person, and you're using that information as like a heart lubricant, you know. It's helping you. It's giving you strength to get through challenging times, because the challenge is just misinformation. Just feeling like even if you used every resource available to you, you didn't have all the ingredients, or you're just trying to sort through information and things that are happening, or even energy, trying to figure out why you feel a certain way, why something might make you feel good or bad, and just holding space for that. That's been a challenge for you in the past. And you're coming to terms with that. So this is in reverse, and it's the crossing energy, so I'm putting it that way. This is a collective message. This is something that's happening on a big level individually, but also within the whole collective. And I just heard, and again, I'm not hearing it. I'm hearing it through my intuitive sense. I just heard you can't fight fire with fire. Confirmation. I don't know if you just heard that noise. And this is on the world stage. Yeah, you can't fight fire with fire. It just doesn't work elementally. And also, this is about, I had a download, which I'm going to put it in here, but it goes with this. Like, you can stay in your perfectly constructed reality, but you're going to find that things are going to be challenging that, because we're evolving as a people. And so if you stay in the construct that you once knew, it's not that you'll be punished necessarily, or that you'll lose anything. It's not like that. It's just that you won't be able to grow and evolve. This is a global thing for you individually. We'll keep it at that as an individual reading, but this is global. This is every area of your life. Looking at possibilities you wouldn't have in the past. And there's a bridge here, very symbolic. It's about not just analyzing your spirituality as an intellectual process. It's about living your spirituality. It's about understanding that it's an action and a reaction. It's not just knowledge and rules. In the past position, something that just occurred in the past that could be impacting what's happening right now. Winning, being very concerned with success. You may have achieved a lot of success in your life recently, but it's been something that has motivated you, and it may be generational. It may be just holding the line. So if you've had success, you're trying to maintain it. If you haven't had success, you want to step into that. You may have just achieved success. Doesn't mean you can't go in a different direction. So maybe if you have a lot of financial success, you're looking more at the spirituality aspect of your life, or the value of your time and your energy, and where's it all going, and what will be. But it is a card of success in the past position. Let's just see what the strength and the weakness, and or let's see. No, it's not that one. That one. It's a lot of work to hold this up, especially alone, or in whatever way we've been doing it anyway. It's so laborious. I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce that. It's so much. Look at the crows. They're like, you have to put something down. Gosh, this takes so much of your life force energy. Can you do something a little bit differently? Can you lean into what your body and your heart are telling you? And do you know how to access those areas? And a good way to do that is to think about you in a pure state before you had your adult realistic goals, or before you'd had some failures and successes, when you were just wide-eyed and learning about the world, when there weren't so many definitions and limitations. What is it that made you feel excited? Maybe that's something that you have to rediscover, because the fear is that, like, if you do stay where you are, if you don't lean into that uncomfortable feeling of transforming and growing, that you will kind of cap out or top out. You won't grow, or it's like a fear of missing out thing. Like, if I don't keep on this course, then will I lose everything? What will this all have been for? Like, this is what I've been working for all this time. And the spirit message is, you've achieved all of that. Great. That's going, there's no one's taking that away from you, but can you grow in another way so that you can enjoy your life and enjoy this transformation that's happening? Lean into it and try not to fight it. Go with the flow. Get into flow, because you're holding a lot, and there may be people relying on you too. When you're leading from that heart space, even if it means you're changing direction, that energy, frequency, vibration will resonate with the people around you. They'll get on board with that because you know it to be true. Because you may be really concerned with things being fair, and like that's not how things happen. Things aren't always fair, and like we all know that. I'm not telling you that like you don't know that. I'm telling you to remind you that sometimes that is the best gift. Something that looks, I think you can relate to that. I know we all can. You can relate to that. When something happens and you're like, this is devastating or this is unfair. I can't make this right in my head because it isn't. It's not. It sucks, right? But does it? When you look back and you're like, that experience made me eat a different diet or be with a different person or move out of that place that was stifling me or stagnating me. This is that part, that uncomfortable part of the transformation for us where we're in that dark cavern of a chrysalis, and it's really about spirituality and faith because you don't know what's going to happen, and it does feel uncomfortable. It even feels painful because it's a transformation. It's alchemy. It's changing from one form into another, and that by design isn't comfortable because it has to tear something down or change something that exists in order for the new thing to come in. And so that's important to understand that no matter what the change is, whether it's going somewhere good, and it is collectively, or it feels like it's going somewhere bad, it is not going to feel good when it's happening, no matter what. And to understand that, like you don't remember being born necessarily, but the experience was probably somewhat traumatic. And like, what is going on here? And why am I leaving this safe little cavern that I'm in? And where am I going? And oh my gosh, bright lights and noise and stimulation. And where am I? But I mean, but you wouldn't have been here, to do what it is you're supposed to do here. So it had to happen. And that's kind of how I see this. That's the intuitive guidance that I'm getting. Let's see what's in the next future position. Yes, leaning into that heart space. Collectively, it says the Queen of Bricks or the Queen of Pentacles, but this is about an energy. This is about nurturing. This is about not fighting fire with fire. This is about tending to things so that they may grow. This is like the opposite of using pesticide, for example. This is like finding a more natural way to, or a more organic or holistic or humane way to keep the weeds or the bad stuff or the things that you perceive to be a threat out of your garden, doing that in a way that will not hurt your own growth or your own harvest, your own plants, and tending to that, what you already have, not the next thing, the next opportunity, the next adventure, the next investment. It's about what do I have and how do I learn how to appreciate, cultivate that, and have gratitude for that so that I can have more peace regardless of external forces. Can you see that? Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at everything reversed. So, okay. Let's see what's in the environment. And nobody knows. Nobody knows what it'll be like, because it's going to be something different than what it is now. So we're all in that chrysalis. Like, oh gosh, what's next? It's something new. It's something new. We haven't added any color to the picture yet. We just have a basic idea that it's changing. That's all. We're going somewhere new. And we definitely have our spirit guides with us. That means for you, that could be your ancestors. It could be the Most High God. Whoever it is that you look to, could be the moon, the sun, life force energy, your higher self. That little dog is like, don't worry, we got this covered. It's going to be okay. But nobody knows. It's not just you. Nobody knows. There's something new coming. New journey, new path. And how do I fit this in here? Anyway. Okay. Let's see. Let's see what's in hopes and fears or. The Dharma Project. When I don't really remember entirely. I loved that show, Lost. But I just know it was like in a different realm or a different place that was off the grid somehow, or a different timeline. And they had some sort of shared mission. But I keep thinking of that guy, Desmond, who was in that underground bunker. And he was just like, his life was awful because he had to literally lived to press a button or something, or make sure that some alarm didn't go off. I can't really remember, but it was a very Groundhog Day type of vibe that was going on with him. And I'm not sure what the general idea of the Dharma Project was. Now, I just wanted to mention that because it just came up, and yeah. This is what we're afraid of. Not knowing what to do next. Not knowing how to pivot. How do we go into this new time without doing everything the way we've always done it? What if we want to change our perspective a little bit here? What does that mean? Does that mean we lose people? Does that mean we lose followers or family, friends, a job? How do we feel calm when we don't know what's coming next? When it's dark in there, in the chrysalis? How do we know? Faith. That's how we know. And it can be learned. I'm hearing, gosh, that's so strange. I'm literally hearing a current of energy going through the metal stand that's next to me. It's very odd. It sounds like a walkie-talkie or like a scanner, like a police scanner. And it sounds like a distant voice, saying whatever those, the codes that police officers, firemen, all first responders, those codes that they use. I remember my dad used to listen to a scanner on his free time. That's what he would do. And he'd be like, oh no, there's a 3 alarm, it's so-and-so, and it's a 5 this, or they had all these codes. I'm hearing those codes, and they're literally going through this metal stand that's next to my head. It's like little voices. It almost sounds like chipmunk voices. And it's like the old timeline. And there's a new one coming. And it's like everybody's trying to get on the same page. How do we prepare? What do we do? And it's like, you don't. You don't. You just trust and you go inward. You go into your heart. You look at what's dear to you, and then you act accordingly. Let's see what's in the outcome. I have, this stand next to me that I put my phone on, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. It's a stand. It's metal. It's right next to my ear, and I'm hearing this crazy noise coming from the metal. And, I just trust. I just trust in these downloads when I channel, because otherwise, I don't like to analyze these things, because my thinking mind is not It doesn't know as much as my ancient mind, right? And you're like that too. We have an intelligence inside of us that's even smarter than our brains. Yeah. There are things that are dear to you, and I'm not going to try to name all the things that can be dear to you. There are things that are dear to you. You could protect those things, but not with a death grip. But lean into those feelings. Now I'm going to give an example. Well, let's say you got a grant and you've been working on a research project and you have like a few people working for you and they rely on this grant money, and you've been working on something and now something's changed and it could affect the results of this project, which means you might not get further funding. But you don't want to disappoint anybody, and of course you want funding, right? But if you hold on to that and you stick to whatever you thought you were going to find, and you're not going to grow the way you want to. It's about integrity. I'm going to do a little clarification on that. Let's just see what's on the back of the deck. And it's about feeling your feelings, for one. Because if you do have to start something over, or say my findings, this is just an example, or my findings aren't consistent with my hypothesis, this is not what we expected, and maybe the people who gave you that grant money aren't going to be thrilled about that. That's okay. That's okay. Trust that there is something bigger and better for you, and that perhaps that disappointment is something that people are going to thank you for later. But there's a lot of this right now in the environment. This uncertainty and despair just because of what's happening. But it's not what we lead with. It's about going more into that heart space. And if you don't know how to do that, because I don't know, I didn't for 20 years or something. I couldn't cry, couldn't access my heart space. Well, it's really just about allowing yourself to think about the things that you're always avoiding thinking about. And then it hurts. And you're afraid that you'll never get out of that. But you do. And something better comes from it. Let's just clarify. I'd like to see what it is that what are we carrying in the Ten of Wands, Spirit? Yeah, it ain't your grandma's apple pie. This is different. This is different. This is not the way things have always been done. Wow, look at that. Six of Pentacles upright over here in your strengths and weaknesses. You don't have to hold this burden all on your own. You can forgive. You can forgive yourself, and you'll find that other people are going to forgive you, and you can forgive other people, and it's a beautiful thing. You don't have to hold this Ten of Wands all on your own, even if you've been trained that way, even if it goes against every instinct in your body to say, guess what? I don't know what to do next. This is a mess, or I need help here. That is exactly what you need to lean into. What is it that is happening right now with this World card? Yeah, look at that. We don't want to come out of our caves. Eight of Swords. It's like, oh my gosh, now what? I'm just trying to, get a good baseline here. Just get steady on my feet. And you're telling me what to go on, transform into something else. But that is what the guidance is. It's okay. Yes, it's a little bit scary out there, but we're all changing. What is it that we're holding on to so tightly in the outcome? Our investments, Wow, that makes me like feel emotional. Oh my goodness. You've worked really hard for what you have. Even if people don't agree with you or respect you or think you're going in the right direction, you had good intentions. Right? You did. You had good intentions, and you are going to be forgiven for anything that any miscalculations. It's okay. It's okay. You are so loved. You are so loved. I'm assuming that if you're still here, you probably believe in a power greater than yourself, or you probably wouldn't be here right now. Just know that it's around you now, and it's everything that's happened in your journey has been completely necessary to bring you to this point right now. And I just got a notification, and it's on my stove. The clock says 11:37, and soon it's gonna turn to 11:11 when you add up the numbers. So this is, I have a lot of confidence in this message. No one is all bad and no one is all good. All right, let's just see. Let's just see about, well, I don't know if there's anything that we need to see. Let's get a card of advice. You know, I did pull a message card, but I didn't know if I wanted to share it because I wanted to see what the reading would say, and I really didn't want to be led by it. But we are moving on to something better than what we've known. And this is not just for people who have been going through hard times. This is for everyone. We will look back at this time, and as hard as it is for us to imagine right now, we will look at it as a gift. Now, let me see what this message card was that I wasn't sure I wanted to read. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so it makes sense now. The 3D is like being on Survivor. Okay, this is what's changing. Because whether you win or lose that game, it's another show, Survivor, okay? It takes a lot from you. Well, one, it takes away your, and I can never say this word, but I'm going to try, anonymity. Oh boy. Let me not waste time on this. When you're not anonymous, when you go on a show like that, when you become a public person, when you put yourself out there, people are just brutal. I mean, no matter what it is you're doing, it's like people just, they're brutal. Okay. So even if you won, there's going to be like an entire group of people, maybe in the thousands, that just devote their life to talking about how much you suck on Reddit or something. Like, or that, you could lose and people might think you're the coolest thing in the world. Like, it's just, this is what we're walking away from, this survival mentality. This is what we're evolving out of into a more thrive and flow state. So I am going to put I'm going to talk about that channel that I got, either before or after this, but I want to give you some Reiki love. And I just want to thank you for spending this time with me. And just a word of advice, to really be honest with yourself today and lean into that heart space during this portal so that your transformation is blessed and so that it's as painless as possible. Walking towards the pain to avoid pain in some way. And I'm not saying you should avoid it, but if you want the transition to be organic, like it would happen naturally, like if it wasn't in a lab, let's say, if it just happened with the elements, then you want to lean into that heart space. All right. I'm sending you all my love. And see you next time.